and I have some snacks on the side. But I think this is gonna take a while. Alright, anyways, hey guys, how's it going? I guess I'm back with another video. Depends if you saw my first one or not. So today I'm just gonna be doing a video on my experience at Seattle U. Just answering like common questions that people ask, like prospective students and everything, so that you guys can get some answers, because I know you guys probably have a lot of questions that are like going unanswered and you're just kind of confused. Just to put a quick disclaimer in, all the answers that I'm giving to these questions are just based off my experience, my opinion, so in no way am I like connected with the university. It's literally just me trying to give you guys some of my opinions and my experience. Next question is, what is the quarter system like? Well, I don't think there's a lot to say about this. It's just based on preference. The semester system obviously is you get 2 semesters, that's it. The quarter system is typically 3, unless you take a summer quarter as well. For me, I preferred the quarter system because it gave me more variety to switch between classes. I know a lot of people complain that the quarter system is like too fast and it kind of rushes you in between classes. I don't necessarily agree. I feel like I get plenty of time in my classes to like learn what they're trying to teach me and like follow assignments and stuff like that. So that's just my preference. I just think it's nicer because I get to try more classes and just get like more done during the school year, I guess. So my next question is about price of tuition and scholarships. So I believe SU's tuition is around $60,000. I don't really have much to say on that other than like, yeah, it's a lot of money. That's pretty obvious, that's a given. So for me, I have 2 scholarships and a grant. So I have the Bellarmine scholarship. I believe that's the second to the top scholarship because I think the trustees scholarship is the number 1. My Bellarmine scholarship is $21,000 for the entire year, so all 3 quarters. And then I also have the Costco scholarship, which is $10,000 for the entire year. So pretty much in total scholarships, I have $31,000 in scholarships, which is great because that pretty much cut my tuition in half. And then I have an SU grant, which is basically a grant that the school gives out. It's not like connected to Washington State or like any federal grant, it's just the grant that the school provides to students. I think what's just most important to know is that SU does give out a good amount of financial aid. I'm sure that if you got your acceptance letter, you're already aware of like the financial award that you received. That SU is kind of expensive, but I do think that they make up for it with scholarships. You know, obviously I wish my schooling was cheaper, but I think you're kind of paying to go to a private school, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like surprising or anything like that. So my next question is sort of like a follow-up question to that. It's what's the nightlife like at SU, and what do I do in my free time? On the weekends, I typically just like to see the city, like I'll walk around downtown. There are a ton of good food places around SU that really like aren't that far. You can like walk to them, take the bus, or like the Uber, whatever it happens to be. There's like a ton of good food places that I haven't even gotten to try yet. There's a ton of good farmers markets too around Seattle U. I know that there's the Capitol Hill Farmers Market that I always go to. I think it's every Sunday. And it's just a couple blocks from Seattle U, and they always have like interesting foods, good foods, like fruit and like pastries, stuff like that to get. I'll actually leave some good food places right here that I love to eat at. There's a ton of stuff to do in downtown. You can just find like stuff based on what you like. Like I even went like axe throwing for my birthday, which is something that I probably would have never done back at home, but I was like, hey, why not do that? You can always find like random stuff to do in downtown if you want to like try something new or just do something like city life like in Seattle. A question I kind of get a lot is just about safety on campus and like what living in a city is like security wise, and if I feel safe living there, especially with the school being in the heart of downtown Seattle, basically. But I definitely feel super secure living at Seattle U. I mean, it's a given living in a city that there's gonna be some, you know, situations that are a little bit weird or abnormal because, you know, you live in a city, that's just what it's like. I think that the campus does a lot to make sure that we're always safe walking around campus at night, and just like campus safety in general, like we have key cards to open all the doors. As for like going into downtown, whether it's in the day or at night, that's just kind of something that you sort of have to like personally learn, because obviously the you know, campus safety can't be everywhere. But I would just say in general, it's always good to go in groups. Like, don't go into downtown at night by yourself. I think during the day, like, I walk through downtown by myself. It's not a big deal. It's just about, like, being aware of your surroundings, always having, like, something on you that can, like, help, like pepper spray and stuff like that. It's just sort of like a personal learning process, or just getting acquainted to that. But I definitely wouldn't say that safety is a problem for me at school, like, at all. My next question is, how do you make friends as a freshman? This is another very typical question, and I think it's, again, sort of like I can't really answer this question. It's just based on your experience and who you are and stuff like that. First few weeks of being on campus, they have a ton of events for incoming freshmen, or just for the school in general, that you can go to, you can meet new people with. Like, I went to a ton of them with my roommate, and we met, like, a lot of different people. So it's really just about putting yourself out there. That's really all it is, about making friends. Your first year of college is just going to events and talking to people, because everyone's in the same position that you are. Everyone's like, oh, I want to make friends, I don't want to be alone, you know. So it's just like putting yourself out there and talking to people. You know, the more people that you talk to and the more people that you reach out to, then the more people you're gonna know, the more, like, options for friends that you're gonna have. Yeah, it's just something that I think people have, like, a huge fear about, but it really isn't that big of a deal. Like, you're gonna find someone who you can hang out with regardless. Okay, my next question is housing. What is housing like? What are dorms like? And what's living with a roommate like? This is kind of a big question, and I know a lot of you probably, this is your biggest concern. So for me, moving away from home, this was actually my biggest concern, was having to live in a communal place, in a dorm, in this, like, tiny room with someone that is a complete stranger to me. Like, that was my, like, biggest fear, biggest concern, and I was, like, so just scared. Fortunately for me, I think I have had one of the luckiest experiences with roommates, and I know it has not been the same for everyone else. But my roommate is, like, truly my best friend. We're, like, one in the same. So I'm gonna try and, like, speak away from that, because I know that not everyone's experience is like that. My biggest, most important recommendation, I guess, is just to find a roommate that you like. Do not be one of those people that's just like, oh, I'm just gonna wait and get matched up with someone random. Because I know so many people that did that, and they ended up in situations where they were rooming with someone who was super messy. So it's so important, as soon as that housing application opens and, like, you can start searching for roommates, do that. So I truly recommend, like, message people, talk to people, and try and see if someone is similar to you. With that being said, a lot of the time I feel like people think that your roommate has to be your bestie, and they don't. That's just kind of like sort of like college dorm living 101. You don't have to be best friends with your roommate. I just think it's nice to have someone who respects your space and who you're comfortable living with. Okay, hi, it's Riley from the future. I was kind of editing this video and I realized that I didn't really say a lot about, like, the dorm experience and what it's like living in a dorm. I just kind of talked about, like, roommates and, like, shared spaces and stuff like that. So I kind of want to just go in more detail of, like, what it's like living in a dorm. I mean, to be honest, it's kind of just exactly what you'd think it'd be like. It's just like living in an apartment building, but just at school. So you are living in, like, a giant shared space with a bunch of strangers. And what comes with that is you kind of have to be mindful of, like, noise and, like, what you're doing at certain times, because, you know, some people could be studying or sleeping, whatever it happens to be. It's just kind of about understanding that you are living closely with a bunch of people, and you have to be reflective of that and respectful and stuff like that. It can be kind of tough sometimes just because people have different preferences. So, you know, some people might like to go to sleep at 8 p.m. where other people like to go to sleep at, like, 2 a.m. So yeah, it's just kind of something that you have to get used to and you have to transition into and, like, learn. Another question I get asked about a lot is communal bathrooms. It's not fun. Like, it's not a great time, but it's not the worst thing ever, you know? No, I don't want to wear shoes in the shower and have to go in a stall high school public bathroom type of thing, but it's like, it is what it is, you know? Okay, my next question is, what is the dining hall food like? Now, if I'm keeping it honest with you, you know, I don't want to talk bad about my school and I don't want to say anything too negative, but the food isn't amazing. I don't really think you're ever gonna see a college that has like gourmet, incredible food. I love eating it every day, you know, it's college, it's a dining hall. It's just kind of like the same, and it's like okay food, so it kind of gets boring, you know what I mean, when you just eat like the same thing every day and it's always just like average food. I think the best way of describing it is just like there's some things that are just like so good and I'm like, oh my god, that was like actually like really delicious, I love that so much. And then there's times when it's like, you know what, that wasn't that great, so I'm not gonna get that again. Just like you kind of have to find like a balance. Like maybe I'll eat the dining food Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Tuesday, Thursday I'll go out to eat. So it's kind of like you have some variation, so you're not eating the same thing every day. So my next question is sort of just like, what are classes like? What are professors like? And like about UCourse and stuff like that. I think the classes are just kind of like a hit or miss. Some of them can be really great and some of them can be not so great, but I think that's kind of just like a general thing for every college. For me, when I'm applying for classes, it's always just using like rate my professor to see if the professor has good ratings or is a good teacher, and then just finding classes that have topics that you're interested in for the UCourse and everything. Professors can be kind of a hit or miss too. I mean, obviously you want the best professors, but sometimes, you know, their classes get taken up because obviously everyone wants the #1 rated professor. But, you know, you just want to get a class that you're interested in that has a good professor. Like, that's just like your main concern. I won't go through the specific classes that I took, but I will tell you the classes that I liked. I did love my UCourse 1100 like so much. It's called City and Spatial Justice and it's taught by Alexander Smith, my favorite professor. If you have the chance to take that class, I highly recommend it. It was so awesome. I know that you have a preference on which UCourse you can start with. I started with my 1300 and my 1400 because I wanted just kind of like the art class, so it would be something easy, and then sort of like a harder class, so I would focus completely on that, if that makes sense. I definitely recommend taking the math your first quarter because I think it's just an easy transition, but it all just depends on what you like. Hopefully this video was helpful for you guys and answering some of your questions and concerns. I really wanted some information to be out there about my school because I know there's not a lot of like question and answer type of videos or experience type of videos. So hopefully this helps you guys who are prospective students who are interested in the school. If you have any more questions, please feel free to leave comments below or you can DM me on Instagram. I do get back to them. Like, I love answering your guys' questions. I really want to help out because I know that applying for college can be so stressful and it's such a big deal. I'm going to do a quick shameless self-plug here. I do have other videos on this channel if you'd like to watch. I have some short films and just like some random videos of me traveling and stuff like that, so if you'd like to watch, go check those out. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and hope I answered your questions. Have a beautiful day, stay safe. I know things are like super crazy right now. I know that those of you who are applying to college, things can seem like really stressful and just weird right now. You know, just take it day by day. That's what I do.